Hello, everybody. Thanksgiving Day. It's about 9 p.m. So I've had my fill of food and conversation, and we drank champagne with our Thanksgiving lunch. We had like a late lunch, like a 1 or 2 o'clock. Not that late. Oops. I have that air conditioner on, but it's not hot. One second. I mean, it's on the... So, and I read a little bit of the news, which I probably should have skipped just one day of news. Because there's always something upsetting. And, you just can't get wrapped up in the world's problems all the time. You can, you should sometimes care about what's going on in the world, but sometimes you just need a break. Do what you can to help. Actually, there is, if you're all interested, I should put in the link below. I'm on Instagram a lot these days with my political posts and whatever. And, I'm meeting a lot of people because since I put up controversial things, I end up having conversations. Some of them are publicly on my page, but a lot of people write to me in private because people are afraid to speak their mind. So one gentleman I crossed paths with, I started following, is a guy in Uganda, a man in Uganda who has an orphanage. And what I liked about it was, first of all, his Instagram was private. So that's good because it's an orphanage. He's got pictures of the children and, they're sitting, in school or they're eating or whatever. I don't know if it's school, but they all sit together and they're eating and he's got some video. So just a little orphanage with, nothing special, just I guess, I don't know, I've seen other orphanages in pictures. I've never been to one in person. And, it's an orphanage. The kids are not, at least in the pictures, they look happy and, full. And I'm sure they have a lot of it. I'm sure they have psychological issues. Not having parents, can't be that great. But I know the backstories of some of them must be, maybe their parents both died of AIDS or things like that, or who knows. But so there's 36 children right now in that little orphanage. And so I donated. I don't know anything about the orphanage. I saw the pictures. They appeared to be legitimate. And then there was a link to donate, and I donated. And you have to choose the gentleman's name. There's two people. I guess maybe there's a woman and a man. I don't know if they're related or if they just both run the orphanages. So when you do make the donation, it's a GoFundMe. You choose the name of the person who referred you. So the gentleman who, referred you, how you found the link. He, when I followed him, it was a private Instagram, but I think he had written something that maybe I was curious. So I followed him and he followed me back. And then, once you follow and they let you in, you can see what the posts are. And that's where I discovered the post. I didn't realize it was an orphanage, but I was curious. And it turns out it's an orphanage, and like I just said. So what I liked about it is, in spite of, the orphanage needs money. It's a small thing, small operation. But they're not, on the one hand, in order to get donations, sometimes you gotta put the kids out there like poster children, in front of the world, sort of, I don't want to say using the kids, but in a way it is kind of you're using the children to pull at our heartstrings to donate. That's why they, and I understand why sometimes they do it, because if you see the horror, then you feel bad and you want to help, and so you, but this gentleman, had his Instagram private. He's, the children are healthy and happy, and actually you'd think oh, the kids are fine, why donate? You know what I mean? That's how the kids looked. But the reason they're happy and healthy and chubby or whatever and get enough food is because they're in that orphanage. But it can't be easy to raise. And some of them were like 3 years old. I mean, there are so many orphans. And, anyway, and they're precious. Each one of them is just a precious little, you know. Anyway. So something in me said I'll donate. It looked legitimate. I mean, I have no idea. It could be a scam and he's just putting nice children. But I thought, first of all, if he was a scam, he wouldn't have a private account, I kind of felt like he was being, in the way I read into it, the private account was sort of him protecting the children. But on the other hand, obviously, if he's not out there, he's not getting. I think, then I started emailing, texting over Instagram with him. And he said, oh, thank you so much for, the donation. And, I gave not a huge, large amount, but not a small amount. It was a good amount. It doesn't matter. I gave what I could. And so he said, that's wonderful, that will help us. We have, I don't remember what was broken in the building. So he said, I think he said something electrical that needed fixing. And he said, and we also are trying to save up to buy a cow. For them, a cow is like maybe one of us buying a car. It's important. He said, because if we get a cow, we could have milk for the children and we could also sell milk. And that will also help us have money for the orphanage. So it sounds like a great idea. The amount I gave wasn't enough to buy a cow. I think he said the cow was like $500. So, and the electricity, to fix the electricity, was $350. So, I did not give that amount. I gave, all right, obviously less than $350. So I told him, oh, I can't give this month. I'll maybe, when I get my paycheck, maybe I could help again. I said maybe, because I still don't know if it's a legitimate operation. I believe that it is. But I wonder if maybe the government gives them something as well, but even so, it doesn't cover everything. I think he said he needed one more mattress. I'll have to read it again. But anyway, so I'm going to do a little more research on that, but I'm putting the link below. And I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people that's always trying to, please donate to the GoFundMe. And actually, this is the first time that I'm actually I've shared GoFundMes before. Like if somebody says, oh, please donate to, and maybe I won't donate, but I'd share it in case somebody else wanted to donate. But I've never been so on board with the GoFundMe as I am now with this gentleman. If it turns out that the orphanage is legitimate, I really like that it's a, So that's that. So I'm going to put the link down there. If you all know anything about the organization, or if you know a way to do the research, because I actually don't even know where to start to research if it's legitimate or not. Unless I actually flew over there and stayed at a hotel for a couple of days. And, because if I'm going to, and here's the point, to fly all the way over there and stay at a hotel, etc., I may as well just donate them the thousands of dollars it would have cost if it's a legitimate operation. So you see my catch-22 here. So I don't know if any of you know how I can investigate to make sure it's legitimate. I believe that it is. Just the manner, we all have been scammed, or have seen scammy advertising, so this operation did not appear to be that. No, there was no pressure. He did mention, thank you so much for the donation. We hope to save up enough. So then I asked him, oh, how much does the cow cost? Or how much does the electric? So then in response he told me, the conversation was also, it was not like pushing, you know. So my gut instinct tells me that it's a legitimate orphanage and they truly care about the children. But even so, I should check. So maybe tomorrow I'll Google it and see what I might find. So if it is, trustworthy, I would donate maybe every month. I don't know. It depends. Right now I have a good job, so why not give to others? And I also support local charities and local communities as well. But more so, I do volunteer work in those communities. Although now that farming is becoming so important, because climate change, we want smaller local farms, and it's also a trade if you learn how to raise animals. The 4-H club is one place, but you could kind of learn by other people and working with them. Oh, guys, I'm falling asleep. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.